Hey family, make sure you join us on the new and improved African Diaspora News.org. Now, it is our uncensored and raw truth website. We have to make sure to have our own website because on social media platforms, they do have rules, and at any time they could change a rule and shut a whole genre down. Now, that would not happen to us because on African Diaspora News.org, we can speak the truth. We don't have to hold back. So make sure you join our website today. So as we started a new school year, there's one institution that's expected to make history by enrolling more students than any other historically black college or university. And say while the student body has swelled past any other year, in its 100+ year history, the university is not just accepting all applications. It said the average freshman entering the fall 2022 semester boasts a GPA of almost 4.0. Now, North Carolina Agricultural and Technical State University is beaming with Aggie pride, announcing for the 2022 and 2023 academic year, the school expects to educate 13,500 students, making them the nation's largest historically black university. It's for the 9th year in a row, the largest that has any HBCU has ever become. Now, Chancellor Harold L. Martin Sr. who also makes history as the school's longest serving chancellor of the UNC system, and at any other HBCU, proudly stated that our measured strategic growth at virtually every level is in perfect alignment with the A&T strategic plans, which calls for enrollment of 14,000 by fall 2023. Now, according to U.S. News and World Report, North Carolina A&T is ranked 8 out of all HBCUs and among the top 50 schools, of all higher education reviewed by the publication considered most innovative, as they produce top performers of social mobility. Now, with an expected freshman class of 3,000 new faces, comprised mostly of students of African descent, it can brag that it has enrolled more black first-year students each year than the top 10 national universities. Combined, with a national competitive academic profile. The university's average first-year student arrives with 3.7 high school GPA and SAT scores well over 1,000. Forbes had noted the school was the #1 public HBCU in 2021. Other #1 rankings the school has had under its belt. Include the producer of the African-American undergraduates of both engineering and agriculture and the master's degrees in mathematics, statistics, and engineering. They also a top producer of degrees awarded to African Americans in North Carolina. As a top graduate business schools, at a public HBCU. As a top producer of black engineers, who go on to earn doctorate degrees. Top nursing schools among HBCUs as well. So these stats add why students are rushing to attend the school. That Reverend Jesse Jackson and Terrence J. call their alma mater. While many predominantly black institutions, both private and public, are struggling to keep their doors open, the trustees and administrators at the school have been working overtime to raise money to fund top-notch programs that will equip their schools for the future. Now, this is the difference with the PWIs. This is the difference. The alumni give money, okay? And all you black alumni that come from these schools, you need to do like the white ones, to give money every year to the school so they can recruit and get, more people to graduate. And then you can keep repeating that cycle. The reason why the PWIs look the way they look is because they give a lot of money to them on top of getting the federal funding that they receive. I've always said that black people need to go to the HBCUs. I've always been, a proponent of that. Because if we don't go, and some of y'all that gets into all those conversations talking about immigrants, coming from the different places in the diaspora, well, you need to be at those schools. You need to go. And if you don't go, they will go. It's just that simple. We sit up here and go to every other school but the HBCUs. That should be a given, is that we need to go support the universities that's in our community. If they need to be better, okay, go there and start saying things and make the school better. But they got to have the funding. All you athletes, go to the HBCUs. That's where a lot of the money comes from the PWIs. They pick the best athletes from the black community and put them at Texas A&M, put them at, UCLA, put them at all these PWIs. That's where you think the money coming from. Go to the HBCUs and bring that money there. If all of y'all just even 1 year say all of us going to the HBCUs and play sports, these PWIs would know what to do with themselves. You see how they reacted with Deion Sanders that time when he got a top recruit away from Florida State University. So go to the HBCUs. We have to protect the institutions that we already have, folks, because if we don't protect it, it'll be gentrified and you lose it, and then you want to complain. That's one thing I don't like about my community. We have the opportunity to protect an institution or protect a neighborhood. We don't buy up the neighborhood. We don't buy up the community. Then somebody else come in and buy it up and get our behind out there, and then we crying about it, about gentrification. We've been there 40, 50 years. We need to protect our institutions, folks. That's part of a community. Well, y'all let me know what y'all think about this. And shout out to North Carolina A&T. I remember when I met some brothers from North Carolina A&T about 2015. Very, very distinguished brothers. Very sharp, the way they were dressed, and the brother that had them there. Very respectful brother. I was really liking what they was promoting with those young brothers, and we need more of that. We definitely need more of that. So, shout out to y'all at North Carolina A&T.
On average, the black dollar circulates for about 6 hours in the black community. We need to do better as a community to support black-owned businesses, but that's sometimes easier said than done. Before we can support black-owned businesses, we need a readily available economic search engine to be able to find those black businesses to support in our communities. The Essential Black Business app is the answer to that question. The EVA is always on the community side, meeting the community's needs with easy access.